did, but I held the session in Busheni where I had almost all the witnesses turning up. But how did I do it? Yes. Those witnesses who would fail to turn up, we arrested them and they showed up. I arrested all whoever refused and was. Fortunately, the regional police commander was working closely with me. We arrested all of them, and whenever they would come, they would testify very well. Actually, don't worry that when they come, they will be hostile. No. Some of them, they would arrest them when they bring them. Then I say, okay, now, because that was contempt of court, but I'm going to forgive you. So I want you to testify properly. And they would tell us everything we needed. There was even a police officer who had wanted to refuse to testify. Can you imagine a police officer? And I had him arrested. And for him, I even sent him to police standards unit. So that helps to, when you take charge of the process. But when you sit as a judge and then you say, then they tell you, we have summoned the witnesses, they are not showing up. And then you adjourn it once, then the second time, dismissed. That's not how we need to do these things. We just pick them and then bring them to court. And of course, after they have testified, we let them go. You see, many of those cases where the witnesses fail to turn up are compromised cases. Either the perpetrator or the relatives just come and maybe see the mother, and when poverty makes you vulnerable. So they come and say, but why don't we give you 100,000 and you, because when you don't come to court, the case will collapse. So then they will give the money to the mother, but sometimes also the girl. They can also intimidate the girl, so they refuse to come to court to testify, meaning that the case will collapse because there are no witnesses, but they have already been compromised. And that is quite common. Or sometimes the mother is just an accomplice. So we arrest them, not really to keep them in prison, because we know they don't understand these things. So when we bring them to court, after testifying, we just let them go. We don't keep them in prison.
And I'm the public relations officer for judiciary.